I wanted to film this video because when I was creating the frequently asked section on my website, I realized that there wasn't that much information out there, and I had to explore multiple websites, clothing websites, to actually develop my frequently asked questions. So in this video, I want to share with you different questions you should be answering in your facts section of your website. My name is Taddy G, and on this channel, I like to take you on a journey of building and growing my clothing brand, as well as dropping tips, tricks, gems, and all of that good stuff. Having a detailed, frequently asked questions section on your website will save you on a lot of back and forth between you and your customer. It will also allow customers to get the questions that they want answered without them feeling like, you know what, I can't be asked because I don't know how long my delivery is going to take to come to me. I'm not going to shop on this website. It also makes your website look complete and professional. So please make sure you are including this section on your website. When writing your frequently asked questions, you got to ask yourself, if I was a customer coming onto your website for the first time, what sort of things will I need answers for? And honestly, guys, no question is too dumb, even down to how do I put in my card details. Now, the way I like to write my frequently asked questions is by splitting it into different categories, because then I can ask certain questions within each category and ensure that I'm kind of sort of thinking about everything and covering everything. So the different categories are shipping, orders, payments, product, returns and exchanges, and lastly, general or miscellaneous. So let's start off with shipping. There are 6 questions that I want to make sure I have included in this section. The first question is, where do you ship to? So when you're writing your frequently asked questions, you kind of sort of write the question like the customer is asking it. So you'd be like, okay, where do you ship to? Or you'd be like, how much is shipping? And then you answer that question. So the questions I'm going to have in my shipping section are going to be, where do you ship to? How much is shipping? How long does shipping take? What shipping service do you use or services do you use? What packaging is it shipped in or what's it shipped in? And what do I do if I miss my delivery? Off the back of that, you can think of additional questions that you might want to include in this section, but when answering these, you're going to answer them in accordance to your brand, whatever brand it is that you're starting. So let's move on to orders. The questions that I would include in this section are, how do I make a purchase? How do I know if I've successfully made a purchase? I have not received my confirmation email. What should I do? Where is my order? What do I do if I receive a damaged or the wrong order? My item is out of stock and I really want it. What do I do? Will I receive, I know this one is crazy, but will I receive the same product as it is in the photo? I'm actually going to tell you how I answered that on my website. So I wrote, yes, although colors may appear different on different screens, we try our best to represent the product as accurate as it is. So just some food for thought. And lastly, how can I cancel my order? Now, if you are a brand where you can't cancel an order once it's been placed, say that. If you feel like your answers are probably not answers that a customer is going to want to hear, it doesn't matter. Just have that answer in your frequently asked questions. So next is payment. Payment's really important. I know when I go on different websites, I want to know what payment methods I can use. So that's the first question. What payment methods do you accept? How are my details stored or dealt with? And when do I need to make the payment? It might be straight away on purchase. It might be after you've received your delivery. It might be half now, half later, depending obviously on what kind of website you have. Next, let's move on to product. Questions that you're going to want to be answering is, where is your product manufactured? Again, what happens if I receive a faulty product? I know we've included it in orders as well. It just depends on, you know, the customer's way of thinking. How is your product sustainable? Obviously, more questions would be developed depending on what kind of product it is you are selling. So say if you're selling clothing, a question could be, do you use organic cotton, or are your fabrics sustainable, or is everything ethically sourced, those sorts of questions might be asked. It just depends on your product. So under returns and exchanges, the questions that you would want to include are: do you accept returns? How long do I have to make a return? I suggest 14 days. How long till a return is processed? And how do I go about starting a return? And lastly, in general or miscellaneous, you can include things like: do you have a physical store? How do I use my discount code? What's your contact information? Where are you based? What do you do in terms of sustainability? So those are the kinds of different questions you can include in miscellaneous or general. This section is mainly for, like, say if you think of some questions and you can't quite fit it in like different categories, you can have them in this general or miscellaneous questions. Now, with your frequently asked questions, there is another section that you could include, and this is typically to do with like current affairs. So when obviously Brexit was happening, I had a section on my website that spoke about Brexit and the impact of Brexit. So it was kind of sort of like, are you still shipping to the EU? Why is my cost for shipping to the EU more expensive? Are duties covered? Those sorts of things. And that are duties covered can be in your shipping section as well, especially if you're shipping internationally. That's another question you could ask as well, like, do you ship internationally? So you can definitely include a section in your frequently asked questions that pertain to current affairs, and you always need to keep up to date and keep your frequently asked questions up to date as well. So I really hope that this video has been helpful and you've got a good idea of different frequently asked questions that you can include on your clothing brand website or any sort of website, because this is quite generic. This is mainly for businesses that have a product business. Of course, if you have a digital product, then your frequently asked questions are going to be a little bit different. If you want to get some ideas of like answers that you can include in your frequently asked questions, you can definitely go on shopify.com, scroll down to the bottom, you will see the part that says FAQs, facts. Click on there and you can see like some of the questions that I have answered in my frequently asked question section for my own website, just to give you a little bit more. But as for this video, I really hope that it's been helpful, and definitely please subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you guys in my very next video. Bye.